is going to be James, a guy that I've known for a long time. It's been a long time, James. What's the name of that room that's semi-new by Virginia Beach?
Rivers. That's
Rivers.
a Rivers property.
Is this where this hand comes from?
No, it's from a home game in Richmond.
Okay, so a Richmond home game. So you play in a home game even though there's a casino around there?
I mean, every casino is like 2 hours away.
Oh, okay. Just not a whole lot of options that are close by.
Yeah, so this is basically our like Friday night home game. It's a 2-5 game.
Okay.
That's match the stack. But we start off, it's like 1,000 cap at the start, but it's matched, so it gets big really fast.
Okay. And how deep are you?
So for this hand, I covered the main villain, and he only had like 650 about to start the hand.
So 650 effective. And all right, start us off here.
So this player, he limps in like middle position. He's actually my realtor by chance, and so he's like a recreational player. So he just limps for 5. I have 7s in the cutoff, and I bump it up to $30.
Do the suits matter? I'm going to put 7 of spades, 7 of clubs to 30.
They're not relevant for my whole cards. No, button calls and the limper calls.
Button calls and the EP limper calls. All right, I'm going to call the pot $90. James got pocket 7s, ISOing an EP limp from the cutoff. Button calls to his left, EP limp calls, and we are away to the flop. Okay.
So the flop comes 8-7-4, rainbow.
8 of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 4 of spades. I'm going to put, I don't know if there's going to be a backdoor or what. I'm winging it here. Okay, so you flop middle set, but it's rainbow, right?
Right.
Okay.
EP limper checks, and I bet 50.
All right, so hero bets 50 with middle set on 8-7-4. In a game like this, you obviously can't go wrong with betting. You take a little bit less than somewhat of a 2/3 sizing. Okay.
Yeah, it's like about half pot. So I'm trying to, get the villains to raise off with any of their strong hands. So the button calls and limper calls.
They both call.
Yes, they both call.
Button and EP limp calls. So you said 50. So the pot now is 240. And whoever you are effective with as the primary villain has about 570 left. I don't know if the other guy was deeper, but you're at least 2 SPRs here moving to the turn. Okay.
So the turn, it was the 10 of hearts, I believe, because I think it brought a flush draw.
All right. So 10 of hearts on the turn. So backdoor hearts come in now. Mm-hmm.
EP checks.
Yep.
And here I wanted to size up really big because there's a lot of pair plus flush draw combinations or 2-pair combinations with this card.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, there's 10-8, I guess, for 2-pair combinations.
Well, like 10-9, 10-8.
Oh, right. Nine, you mean the pair, the 10 connects with some draws that are straight draws, right?
Right.
Yeah. Jack 9 comes in here too, but.
And it makes the most reasonable 2-pair.
Right.
Which is
10-9. Now, I have it up as 8 of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 4 spades. Turns the 10 of hearts if this distribution is correct. It's always important to look at the flop distribution because it's more likely someone's going to have a backdoor when the top pair is available for the backdoor flush draw, which in the way that I have written up, it is, as opposed to if it was like 8 of hearts. Even if it was just 8 of hearts, you'd still have middle pair available. So 8-7-4-10, EP checks, and how much do you bet?
I bet 200.
Okay, hero bets 200 here.
Yeah, I wanted to size up because they're just not going to fold with like open and with straight draws and flush draws, and I'm just going to get a lot of value here on this street. And if I get raised, then I could consider bet folding because I think.
Well, that would be, that would be. It's hard, like in small stakes home games, to fold sets with equity, but I see what you mean. But you bet 200 into 240, okay?
Yeah, so the button folds.
All right, so button folds.
And we're going to get heads up with the limper.
So EP calls. And now the pot is 640, and he's put in 200, 250, 280. So it looks like he's got, 370 left in his stack, something like that?
Yep.
What I don't want to see. So it's 8-7-4-10. What do I don't really want to see a backdoor heart, right? We don't really want to see a backdoor heart. What else do we don't want to see? There's
We don't want to see a straightening card.
Well, there's several interior straightening cards, right? So you could get a 5, which would bring a 1-liner to a 6. You could get a 6 that would bring a 1-liner to a 9. You could get a 9 that would bring a 1-liner to a jack and a 6. I'm trying to think in my head. So if he has a 9 in his hand, somehow, like he called the flop with some hand like 9-7, 9-8. Now he's open-ended. 10-9. Now he's open-ended on the turn. So he's always going to be in there. Now, if a jack,
he can be in there with a lot of the offsuit combos. So like 10-9 off.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, if a 9 were to come out, though, where it was like a 1-liner to a jack and a 1-liner to a 6, I think it's a little bit better for you. I think probably the jack here and the 6 probably are the worst cards, because then once in a while, even with the 6, right? So none of those cards and backdoor hearts. Yeah. Maybe not so much a 5, because a 5 is like weird. Like he'd have to have a 6 in his hand. Okay.
So the river is an offsuit jack.
Offsuit jack. All right. I'm going to put out jack of diamonds. So you have it. The 8-7-4 rainbow turns a 10, bringing in the backdoor flush draw. And now the river is the jack of diamonds. Okay.
And my buddy, he basically just snap jams all in.
Your buddy, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he's like I said, he's my realtor. So,
well, I mean, here's the thing. So, we've heard a lot of empirical evidence from this call-in show about, weird stuff going on at the smaller stakes, and sometimes you sort of just flick in. And he's basically moving all in for 370. So, it's going to be like $1,000 pot, 370 for you to call. So you hear these like empirical evidence of like all this stuff of, some weird things that are happening. The thing that's a little bit disturbing to me to be in this spot is that in order for this guy to be bluffing, he almost has to turn a pair into a bluff. And the thing is, the pattern that I've noticed is that a lot of times people don't turn things into bluffs if they can beat ace king. So it's like they might turn something into a bluff at the end. I'm talking about turning something like a pair into a bluff. They might turn a pair into a bluff if there's nothing they can beat, right? Like absolutely nothing. Like say a 1-liner comes out and there's an ace and king out there and they just, they have a 5 in their hand, right? They're never going to be able to win.
I think on a connected board like this with middle cards, I mean, he's going to at least put me on like an overpair. So
just because you bet twice?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he thinks I'm betting twice with ace king, especially when I like pot the turn.
Right. Multi-way. Right. I don't know what level the guy's on. I see your point.
He's not going to put me on ace king in this spot. I mean, another spot, sure.
Right. So
I just think like, how can this be a bluff? Because I think this is super under bluffed. Because you'd have to turn a pair into a bluff.
If my distribution of suits are correct here, where it's 8 of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 4 spades, like 10 of hearts, you kind of want him to have something that calls, this is in order for it to be a bluff, right? You want to have him be able to call the turn with something that's not a 9. And the hands that call the turn the most without a 9 are the hands that have pair plus flush draws, right?
Right.
And the other thing though too is that like, is there any way that he could have like a jack X of hearts in his hand, which would have been like sort of turned a gut shot on the turn, but it would have to be like jack 10, that's going to be 2 pair. Jack 9 is already a straight. And then a lot of people don't turn top pair into a bluff anyway. So that kind of goes out the window. So what 8x of hearts or 4x of hearts here? So it'd be like what? See, 10-8 again is 2 pair. That's pretty far up, right? And you're going to turn 10-8 and you're probably going to hear from him in the turn. Jack 8 is 2 pair. So I don't know how wide he is. Like, does he limp in with like queen 8 of hearts, ace, king 8 of hearts, ace 8 of hearts?
Super wide.
Wow.
Very like.
I mean, maybe. So he could have some 8x of hearts or a hand like 5-4 of hearts, something like that. It's a pretty tough call. I mean, I could definitely see folding here. You're getting Well, you get, was it? So I said like 1,010, 370 to call. So it's less than 3
3
to
to
1.
1.
Yeah.
So I just thought like, yeah, I'm getting good odds, but this just seems like super under-bluffed. I don't think it's like he would I think he would just try to show down with any.
Could he have Jack? Somebody makes a point here. Could he have? So John F in the live chat said Queen Jack of Hearts. That's where I said I don't think the top pair. Like I don't think Queen Jack of Hearts does this. Could he ever jam on you with like Jack 10 for value? There's a one-liner out there to a 9. That's always the question I ask.
I think he would check. I think he would check, like he would just go into like check call shell with.
So you think this is just basic? His bet is polar, right? It's a 9 or a bluff.
It's like nine or nothing. And I'm like, well, you have like there's a lot of 9s available, right? So I thought about it for a little bit, but I kind of had my mind made up when I saw this river, because I'm just thinking like this is super underbluffed. So I made an exploitative fold, or I folded. I think I said it out loud. Are you turning a pair into a bluff? And then I just like folded. And then he windmills 6 deuce of hearts in my face.
Oh.
Which I thought was totally wild because.
So, I mean, one of the things that obviously he's never supposed to be playing 6 deuce, but one of the portion of his range that I didn't really mention was the good old 5 or 6 for a gut shot that picks up backdoor hearts, because any of those hands should have been a pair, right? Because how does he call the flop with like 6 ace 5? Overcalls ace 5 or ace 6. I mean, I suppose I should have thrown in ace 5, ace 6, something like that. But if you're looking at it logically, I guess my case here with this hand is that if you're looking at it logically and the guy isn't quite as wide as that, in order for him to have 5x of hearts or 6x of hearts, it should usually contain some sort of pair. And then the question that we talked about 8-6 of hearts, the question then becomes, well, do they do that? But
yeah, and I mean, yeah, he's pretty passive overall, but I mean, he got me here.
Wow. Well, and he's your buddy too, huh? And he windmilled it.
Yep.
All right, James, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.